Burroughs, the president at the time, a bad boy, told me that he smacked his mother.
Burroughs, the president at the time, a terrible kid, let me know that he smacked his mom in a video of him and Cassie. And how he treated her, I accept it presently, man. Well, definitely listen, I love you also word on the road. Recommend that Diddy's mom has at last had it with her child, and it appears she is prepared to emerge and let the cat out of the bag on his obscure dealings. So what precisely is she supposedly going to uncover in a new meeting? Gan Bargain, a previous guardian for Sean Diddy Combs, shared an upsetting record of Diddy's past way of behaving, charging that the music big shot once worked out his own mom agreement's memory, portrays Diddy's unpredictable and harmful inclinations, which he guarantees stretch out even to his nearest relatives during the meeting. Bargain related an occurrence including Diddy, his mom Janice Combs, and Kirk Burroughs, who was the leader of Terrible Kid Records at the time, as per Bargain. Burrow had recently referenced that Diddy had slapped his mom brother Kirk Burroughs, the president at the time, a terrible kid. Let me know that he smacked his mom. Bargain, nitty-gritty and agitating experience in a limousine, left close to Terrible Kid Records' first Manhattan office. As arrangement, Diddy and Janice Brush sat in the vehicle. Diddy was participated in a warm telephone discussion. Mid-call, he attacked his mom, saying he told his mom, "Yo, didn't I advise you to remain out, mother MF business." Bargain. Shocked by Diddy's lack of respect, to fight him promptly, I needed to grab the shadow off him. Bargain communicated his resentment and mistrust. He cautioned Diddy, assuming that you at any point converse with your mom like that again around me, I will pulsate the ish out of you. Bargain underscored that his responses stemmed from his job as Diddy's guardian, as well as from his standards in childhood as a man and as an individual, that I won't allow him to slight his mom. Bargain expressed immovably, he reminded Diddy that without his mom he wouldn't have a business to talk about yet. I advised her to avoid business. Let me simply express this to you, the present moment, in the event that she wasn't for her, you wouldn't have no business. Gene Arrangements declaration offers an intriguing and upsetting look into the confidential existence of one of the music business greatest names. He contended that Diddy's treatment of his mom is characteristic of his more extensive disposition towards ladies. Any man that put his hands on his mom, or lack of regard his mom, he'll rush to put his hands on a lady. Like that arrangement affirmed, defining an immediate boundary between Diddy's familial collaborations and his associations with ladies. This interview reveals new insight into the individual history of Shub Rushes, proposing that his public persona may be veiling further seriously alarming ways of behaving, some of which might have been framed during his life as a youngster. You see, since Cassie documented her claim for what seems like forever, has essentially gone down the channel he's lost north of 18 brand bargains. He was started off his situation as administrator at his own organization, Volt Television. He's currently being hauled to court by the organization that circulates his liquor refreshment, and the site claims continue to stack up constantly. It's certainly not going to be some time before he wipes his ledger clean to support these court expenses and fines he will be paying, in addition to all that individuals have additionally been investigating his family to attempt to sort out how Diddy came to be the sort of individual that he is. And man, gracious man, individuals figured out a ton. It seems to be Diddy's furious dependence on drugs, these oddity offs, and his activities against individuals are attached to his young life injury. See, Diddy was as yet a youngster when his dad died, so to accommodate the family, his mother Janice was maintaining 3 sources of income, and purportedly was one of them. My mom maintained 3 sources of income, and my grandma worked too at an early age. I began my own paper, composed by the web. Janice would some of the time bring a portion of the men that she connected with to the house. This is the sort of thing that she would do frequently, and Diddy would observe her. It happened constantly. As though this wasn't at that point awful enough for an underage youngster to be seeing Janice likewise supposedly imparted terrible ethics in Diddy. She stressed the significance of laying out predominance. An example, She pounded home to Brush's matured 9 when another kid took his cash. My mom wouldn't give me access, the House comms told Oprah. In a 2006 meeting, she expressed return out there and get that cash. And assuming that anybody at any point puts their hands on you, ensure they at no point ever do it in the future. She knew the truth in the event that individuals smell shortcoming, they exploit. You need to shield yourself. Janice's example may likewise have lined up with his normal tendencies. However, his future Puffy moniker originated from adolescence fits of rage. At whatever point I flew off the handle as a youngster, I used to continuously episode, and Puff Combs told Fly magazine in 1998. I had an attitude that is the reason my companion began calling me Puffy. It's additionally been accounted for by various sources that his dad was a pack chief in Harlem. This was affirmed by Complex magazine back in 2013 in a hazardous article, where they explored the guardians of a ton of well-known rappers. The article read, Diddy's dad D. Melvin Combs was a notable Harlem hoodlum who had associations with both Plain Lucas and Nikki Barnes. Janice was the supervisor's rider, Kick the Bucket Chick, after her significant other was fiercely unalived. When Diddy was as yet a kid, she took to raising youthful Sean all alone. And in the event that you thought this was awful, stand by till you catch wind of Diddy's extremely peculiar relationship with his mom. Individuals have truly been guessing for some time now that Diddy and his relationship with his mother go way farther than the customary mother-son relationship. These reports deteriorated after a video became a web sensation of Diddy and Janice energetically kissing each other on the lips. Love you. Music to this video was so awkward to watch. As a matter of fact, one fan remarked, I get having an extraordinary mother-son relationship. Yet something about that trade was peculiarly awkward, like what a few moms involved their children as spouses. A subsequent fan added, men who effectively participate in undesirable relationship elements with their mom will seldom have sound, heartfelt connections. With ladies, they have a restricted idea of limits and misleading assumptions, particularly in regards to reliability and responsibility. He said his mom never truly dated or had men around after his father passed on, and his dad passed on when he was 3. Diddy has been her person for quite a long time. This is frightening, no question, except for what the vast majority appear to neglect is such Diddy's reality has been loaded up with brutality under the steady gaze of any claim. Diddy went through years evading a background marked by open showcases of viciousness and traces of supposed crimes, despite the fact that the music magnate has had the option to shape-shift his picture as he would prefer. His standing has never been liberated from contention. While Combs obviously accepted his mom's recommendation to heart, he likewise reflected her hard-working attitude. He landed his most memorable position at 12, a newspaper beat then. At that point, worked at a corner store and a Mexican cafe, as well as selling lemonade. He told Forbes he spent a youth summer with an Amish family in Pennsylvania through the philanthropic Natural Air Reserve for Ghetto Children. And it wasn't some time before his mom moved the family from swarmed uptown Manhattan to Mount Vernon, a suburb of Belchester district. She enlisted Combs, who was raised Catholic, and filled in as a modified kid at renowned Bronx All Young Men Foundation Mount Michael, where he wore the Nat clothing, every day played football, and consistently needed to set his sights high. Realized, I would have been an NFL genius player, he told the New York Times in 2012 after he broke his leg. However, Combs needed to change his fantasies. And it was at Howard that he genuinely started to utilize his muscles of impact, and impresario. Combs apparently started really establishing himself nearly following traveling south to D.C. to start his examinations at Howard, the generally dark college. He showed up at the last part of the 1980s, when New York-based hip-hop culture was superior in brushes, capitalized on that realm-state association. He wore ostentatious garments through parties and started fabricating an escort And between classes, he actually carved out opportunity to run a van administration to the air terminal to purportedly sell old